And it's 10 o'clock already. Jeez. Right, let's get our contrast paints out. Okay, we've got grey loaded up on the brush. And let's just see how this looks. And now we can do some proper zooming in to some painting. Ta-da! It's quite runny, the grey, surprisingly. It's quite a runny paint. So yeah, we're doing some painting, basically. Nothing too exciting, just a little bit of painting. And we're using Citadel contrast paints on our Tau dudes. I'm not quite sure this is giving me the desired effect that I want. I'm going to just raise the camera up slightly so it gets a better view from above. Except that there's a light in the way. I am not set up for streaming today here. The thing is though, whenever I put the camera in that position, it always has difficulties. Like it zooms in on the background instead of the foreground. Can you see it's zoomed in the dudes at the back? And this is the problem that I always have with this setup. It doesn't focus where I want it to. Oh, there we go. Eventually. Right. Okay, I don't want pooling to occur. There's some really bad mold line shenanigans going on there. Right, okay. That's a little bit better. Okay, let's check out the chat. Why I prefer real instruments to using the computers in a show. Yeah, but I have to use this to stream. Hugs and kisses to my beautiful queen, love you, says Maydog. 5 people. Well, we're doing well considering that no one could even friggin' hear me at the start. Can't believe that they've done that with that new streaming software, that it doesn't work like that. That was so frustrating. Right, let's set that up. Happens unfortunately when using new software. Like Macs are not geared up for live streaming PC's far better. Just a little dabble there because it's sort of like not looking that great. Okay, let's move on with our contrast paints to the gloves. So what we're doing is we're hitting all the gloves. Oh, he's got paint on his hand. So good. Maybe I can just over grey it. Hide that. Hide my mistake. So we've gone from dark to light. Should we have gone from light to dark? I probably should have gone from light to dark, shouldn't we? Okay, that's his glove done. Oops, dropped him. Oh man, I've just touched the contrast paint. Right, next one, please. Like, Citadel Contrast lets you do this really quickly. So we're just going to whack on our gloves now. Zoom out a little bit because just trying to find my hand in the right position. So how's everyone doing? We obviously get more views when I do just whack a bit of grey in there to hide that. We get a lot more views when I do model trains. We get less views when I paint Warhammer. Okay, we're just painting in the gloves. But I seem to have to do some sort of like crazy origami position to get any paint in there. And we're just literally doing the gloves, so it's going to be quite repetitive, but not too bad. I did a little research on Warhammer. I'm way behind on it. I'm trying to catch up. Hey, Zero Aventa Girl. Hey there. We had like a bit of a disaster live stream at the start, but we're getting there now. I was like fighting the Mac gremlins because I've got new setup for Mac, and it was interesting to say the least. It was interesting to say the least indeed. One good thing though is that the stream is completely monetized, so that's really handy. and I'm just trying out new things, and obviously, unfortunately, when you try out new things, there's gremlins. Your fire warriors look very lovely, great colours. Thank you. What I did was use Wraithbone spray and then Archellen green Citadel contrast. So that's what I've done for these particular miniatures. That's my style, and then I used Black Templar to do the blacks, and then this is we're using Basilicum Grey for the gloves. So they've got like grey gloves that they wear. We're using Basilicum Grey for that. Quite a heavy dose. And then also I'm touching up like any little areas where I've missed with the grey. So that's what I'm doing. And like I say, any areas I've missed with the grey, I'm just blobbing in a little bit with the Basilicum Grey. Right. Oops. Don't touch the glove, and I did. We're blasting through these fire warriors. Absolutely blasting through these fire warriors. I want to actually do a recording for a second. Okay, so what we're doing is we're using Basilicum Grey contrast paint on the gloves. That's what we're doing today. So that's what our plan is to do for this next live stream. So let's stick some grey on, and I'm using a little 3D printed paint pot holder so I don't have any spills. And we're going straight from the pot onto the brush and then onto the miniature. And we'll just zoom in there so we can see it working. There we go. Just sticking a little bit of the old contrast on. And that's picking up all them details really nicely. And now we've got the gloves. Just painting in where the gloves go. That is awesome. So there we go. Cute pot holder. Yeah, it's a handy one. I got it off Thingiverse and 3D printed it myself, which was really handy. So that's that dude done. Getting that tower done. Oops. Getting some on his leg, which I didn't quite want to do. So just zoom out, and that, I'll zoom in. That's how he looks with his gloves done. Okay, pull him off, move on to the next one. Get a bit of a production line on the go here. I'm just going to wash my brush out for a second. Just occasionally washing out my brush just to keep it healthy. And I just need a drink of water myself. I look lovely. Oh, thank you, Rex. Thank you so much. Joe says, love your outfit. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My outfit, if I zoom out, is this. Ta-da! Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da! Okay, let's carry on with our contrast painting of the Tau dudes. So we're just loading up some contrast, get it loaded on the brush, just whacking it down on those gloves. That's what we're trying to do. Just load up them gloves. Oh, there's a weird bit there, but just do a little bit of grey just to. I think I'll just take some of the weird bits off there with a little bit of the old grey. Is always handy. Stick it on his glove there. And we're nearly done with the whole glove shaboodlums. So whacking down some of this contrast just so we got some Tau miniatures to play with. We are literally using this to get the tabletop ready, is what my plan is. Just to get some tabletop ready dudes. So they look decent on the tabletop. Next one, we're really storming through these gloves. And like I say, batch painting is great. I mean, the only disadvantage to batch painting is that I don't like is that it becomes quite repetitive. So that's the only disadvantage to this. It can be quite repetitive. But we'll just see how we go on. I mean, I'm having fun now that we've sorted out the technical gremlins. It's not quite as bad. Those technical gremlins were annoying. Have you thought about what colour to do the set of the lenses? I've been thinking. I've got some funky colours here, and I've got skink blue, dry brush, or I've got some like crazy colours. I've got nickel and oxide as well, and I've got like a crazy edge paint somewhere if I can get it out. Edge Barroth blue, so I'm thinking that maybe for the lenses. Well, my brother's going to be coming back at Christmas, so what I'm hoping to do is actually have a game with him. So I'm trying to desperately get some miniatures ready for him coming back at Christmas time, which I'm acutely aware will be sooner than I think. So, and I'm a slow painter. I must admit I am a bit of a slow painter. So hopefully we'll have something ready to play with. Maybe. Who knows? Hey Logan, how are you? What do you have for your collection? What would you suggest someone to start with? Someone to start with, I'd get a start collecting box. If you look at the start collecting boxes they do, because you can get, I think it's a 500 point army, so you can basically get a decent army to start with, and you'll get like a vehicle, a character, and a couple of other bits, and then just get a few paints. Just get some contrast paints and one of the contrast sprays, and just go for it. The contrast paints are gonna like get you on the tabletop ready to go quite quickly, and then you can always come back and add details again. I've looked at this year's holiday boxes. I'm very tempted to get an Age of Sigmar Gloomspite one. Very tempted. And I'm tempted to get the Tau one of this because I've accidentally ended up with a Tau army that I didn't necessarily think I wanted, but I've ended up with a load of Tau now for some reason. I've got a lot of Chaos and a lot of Space Marines as well. So I've got a lot of them. I've got a Skitarii start collecting box. If you notice, it's interesting how they haven't done a Gene Stealers one or a Skitarii one, have they? So that's a bit of a blow to some of the fans. Okay, I'm just checking we've got everything. I think we've covered everything there. No weird white bits showing. No. Okay, so we've done the gloves. Get the lid back on that paint before it goes. I'm good, Logan. We had some sort of like technical glitches before, but we've sorted out the technical issues from before, luckily. And now we're just sorting out some of these Tau. We're going to be doing bases. So this is the bases that I've already done before, which was Astro Granite Debris. Oops. The camera focus. Astro Granite Debris and Null Oil Gloss. So we're going to be doing some bases, I think. Accidentally, haha. Yeah. Haha. Very true. Okay, make sure that's got a point on it. I'm using the Artificer layer small for that because they're only little. Okay, we're going to be using the Citadel Texture Medium For this, what base colour did I use? I think I used Dark Reaper for the base, did I? Right. I have to go digging now into my base paints. Astro Granite Technical. What's the other one? Oh, Sterling Mud. Nope, nope, definitely not that one. You are deep into this game. I've been doing it since 3rd edition, so I've been playing this game since 1998-ish. Probably 1998. So give this a little bit of a shake. They say that you don't need to shake the base paints, but I'm going to give this a shake anyway and just see how we get on. Whoa, that's gloopy. Very gloopy paint. Right, let's do this. This is gonna be an interesting one, isn't it? So if the damn camera focused on the front. Right, here we go. We're gonna scoop up some of that. Whoa, it's a bit feisty, that. And then slap it down on the base. Trying to be careful not to get it on any legs. And we'll spread it out in a second. And then scoop that up and do the same on this side. Just trying to get like a bit of a different texture. That's what we're trying to do. Ooh, I think I've gone a bit crazy there. The texture paint, put too much on. And then what we're going to do is use this side, which is the little bit, just to push that into his feet. Sort of flatten it all out. So you need to get a decent bit on the base to actually spread it out. And that's looking quite good. Quite happy with the results of that. I'm just going to scoop up a little bit and stick it on the end there. I forgot how much time doing these miniatures do. I think like some people who like brag online that oh yeah, I've done them in like half an hour. I don't think they are, you know. I think they're blagging, because unless they're really good or doing an awful job on the miniatures, it takes a bit longer than that to do it. It really does. Just get a little bit of that. Just probably around. So we want it to look good, but not too crazy. make it out, and then I always try and sort of like put a foot mark in. Just there. So it looks like he's maybe been walking in it. I don't think you can ever really see it in reality, but maybe come back when it's drying. Oops, just make sure that's all pushed in. Okay, that looks really good. I just want to check that I've got the edges right. Okay, the edges look okay. And we'll move on to the next one. That's what we're doing. Oh, I've got 8 viewers. This is good. Didn't think I was going to get 8 viewers. I mean, people, you can use dirt and stuff. I'm using the Citadel stuff, but you don't have to. There we go, it's focusing again. Scoop a big dollop there. Just dollop that on. Spread it out. I think I'm getting a little bit faster though at it, because when I first started I was like quite slow at doing this, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. And oops, let's have a look at the chat. How's everyone doing? Oh no, Nullin Oil Astrogranite. I've been using Agrax Earthshade on Astrogranite and it looks like wet gravel. Well, I've gone Nulling Oil Gloss. Nullin Oil Gloss. Mostly, hello, Mostly, how are you? How long have you had to shake up your pots? Have you thought about getting an electric shaker? I've heard that helps them go smooth. I need to do that, really. I need to get an electric shaker. I definitely need to do that. And I was too frugal to buy the tool. I use the rear end of a brush to apply the base. Yeah, that's fine. I spent quite a lot of money on tools and things like that, so I'm fortunate that I've got quite a lot of the tools to do it. I was looking for a Warhammer game set, yet they seem to call it Space Marines here. Is it the same? Space Marines is one of the factions. If you check out the Warhammer website, you'll actually see the different factions that you can get. The Space Marines are just one of the armies that you can buy. You can actually buy a lot more different ones than that. If you go to gamesworkshop.com, that's like the place to go, really, to get like the best sort of setup. And I'm just trying to squidge a little bit in here. Oh, this is that weird one where it was melted. Can you see his legs are sort of melted? Because I picked this up off eBay. Oh, look at that. It's like chunky monkeys in there. That's not good. I'm just going to shake the pot up in a second because I think it's starting to congeal in the lid. How's the chat? Leslie Dickinson. Hey, Leslie. Good to see you being creative. Yeah, I'm painting some miniatures tonight just to do something a little bit different. On the box it will probably say something like Warhammer 40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Those are the Coast Common brands, yeah. There's a 37 outside. It's making a proper racket. Oh, wow, Logan. Have you got a class 37 like outside near where you are? That's really exciting. You'll have to do a video for me on your phone or something so I can see. Unless it's already gone, in which case don't worry about it. Right, okay, that's the base done on that one. Base done on that Tau dude. I'm just loading them up. I'm just going to give this a shake because it seems to be gloopying up a lot. They say you don't need to shake base, but it's too dark. Oh yeah, no, I forgot it's night time, isn't it? Don't worry about it. I'm just going to have a drink of water. It's behind the range somewhere. Right, okay, let's carry on. Let's keep calm and carry on. Right, so I want to get this on the go because I want to wrap the stream up at some point at around 11 o'clock. So if we want to do this, we'll have to get a lick on. And just scrape off the excess there. Oops. And then we're just going to do that. How are we doing with the chat? My plan is to find a few nice female models in Age of Sigmar and kit bash them with sci-fi bits to lead my 40k armies. There's a good one which is from Victoria Miniatures, do some awesome female kits, and then there's another one which I'm trying to think of which does like female guard kits. I've forgotten the name of them. Something Heroes or something. I'll have to look it up. But they have like a Russian Inquisitor lady which is really awesome. Oops, just get a bit of that and push it onto the base, push it in there. Just trying to sort these bases out, you know, so they look they're good. And yeah, it's looking okay now. It's not looking too shabby at all. Like basing is a weird one, but I really like these Citadel paints for basing. I think they've done really well with these. I quite like using them. Just trying to find that out. And then do the whole shoe thing again. I don't think I'm going to bother with the shoe thing. It doesn't seem to work very well. Oops. Unclip that. Clip that on. And we're just working through. Hey Jo! Hey there Alex. See you're back at your tower once more. How's it going? Yeah, I know it's been a long time since I've been at the tower. but it's time to go back to the towel. Contrast paints on those pants bits and those seams the armour turned out fantastic. Yeah, I think it worked out really well. Certainly happy with the results. You know, very happy with the results. For sure. You're right, there's a lot of them. I found one called Age of Sigmar. I might need to do more research on it. Don't get Age of Sigmar if 40k. If you like fantasy, get Age of Sigmar. If you like sci-fi, get 40k Rex, because Age of Sigmar is the fantasy one, which is like goblins and wizards and, well, they didn't. There's not that many wizards, is there, in it? But goblins and magic and elves, and whereas 40k is more like space orcs and spaceships and fancy worlds, you know. Yeah, so we're doing okay. It's quite what I would call a challenge to talk and hobby at the same time. So I'm certainly learning new skills at the same time, trying to keep an eye on the chat. GW owes us proper female guard models, fingers crossed for this year. Hey Chris, how are you? I'm okay, thanks. I'm just doing a little like Warhammer 40k hobby. That's what I'm up to at the moment. Not sure how successful the stream will be, but one can only try. If I'm just trying out different ideas for the channel, trying out new things. Good paint job. Thank you, Rex, so much. I've got like better paint jobs, but this is the first time I've actually properly like batch painted stuff. So, because the other paint jobs I've done, they've always been like one miniature on its own. So I'm trying to learn to batch paint so that I've actually just got like a decent painted collection of miniatures, rather than you know, it's nice to have like one or two awesome looking models, but also it would be nice to have an actual set of miniatures to really play games with, you know, to like actually play games with would be awesome. And this hobby's like, I've got all the stuff, so it's relatively inexpensive for me to do this because I've already got all the paints and a lot of miniatures that just need painting and things. So that's obviously you know, a plus. Whereas the Marklin model railway, I need to buy scenery and buildings, and you know, I need to spend a serious amount of money on that. So I've switched over to this to do something different. I see it. It looks good. I am good. Sorry I missed your last video. Hope to catch up soon. Yeah, it'd be cool to catch up. Joe says it's really the mortals with the swords too. D says, hey D. How are you? There's some like, that is like really setting in the lid, isn't it? That is crazy how that's setting in the lid. Yep. Just blobbing that out. So yeah, it's definitely a skill that I didn't expect I'd need to have, which is like monitoring the chat and hobbying at the same time. You're looking to buy a shop or buy online or get shipped? I'm good. I'm just hobbying. I'm doing a hobby hangout. It's the hobby hangout. we're just currently basing some tau. I did the gloves before, and now we're basing some tau. So that's what we're up to today. Trying to use the Citadel Technical base just to crack a little bit of a base on our tau dudes. But the base stuff seems to be setting in the lid almost, which is a slightly worrying turn of events. Okay, oops, push that around. Make that a little bit more interesting. Okay, that looks good. That looks pretty good. Looks like he's our Tau dude's stepping through some real like granite-y, weirdy sort of world. So how many characters do you have, hon? I've got quite a few miniatures that need making up that I've not quite done yet. I've got the Indomitus box set as well for my sins, so that's going to be an experience in and of itself. The Indomitus box set. Do you see the new Silver model? Yeah, I was going to get hold of him, and then unfortunately, like I missed him, so I'm waiting for him to come back in stock to buy. I missed out on him. Unfortunately, I missed out on him. Ever heard of Armour 3? It's a military sim with some added Warhammer. Well, someone added Warhammer universe to it. Well, got to see the power of Tau against modern military. Right. Yeah, with those railgun-like things that the Tau have, that would be an experience, wouldn't it? I've played Armour 3 before, but not the Armour 1. So how's everyone doing in this second lockdown? Well, I'm hobbying. That's what I'm doing. Hobbying, using it to hobby some Warhammer. Kenny says, I'll come back after tea. I'm a bit anxious today. Oh, sorry to hear that you're anxious, Kenneth. Hopefully I can cheer you up. That's what the whole stream's for. To make everyone sort of like happy. To give everyone just a nice feeling about themselves. Just to improve everyone's mental health during these troubling times. That's the whole point of it all. So I'm just trying to get my skills so that I don't just constantly look at the miniature, that I do actually remind myself to glance over at chat as well, because it's important to do chat. I mean, it's really good for me as well because it gives me a sense of commitment to actually doing these miniatures, because it's just so tempting sometimes not just to leave it by the wayside and not actually do anything. So I was just annoyed today earlier because I had so many technical gremlins getting this stream off to the start, and it just annoyed me. But oh, and our miniature is escaping. There we we go, just basing that guy. His feet are quite hard to get on this one. Just grouping that. I'm sure this pot, because I've had it open, the longer these pots are open, they don't keep as long. Like, that's something I've definitely figured out today. Like, the longer you keep your pot of paint open, the more it dries out. If they're sealed, like if you keep them sealed, you're fine. But if you have these open, it's not. We all here to help each other out through tough times and be here to support each other. Yeah, for sure, Chris. For sure. I'm just trying to finish off these Tau dudes. We're getting there. It's a bit of like a production line. You know, you have to get like a bit of a lick on with these guys sometimes, which is can be quite challenging. Ooh, don't get too close to his feet. Just getting some of that base material down. Don't know if I'm using too much. I've probably been too heavy-handed with this. I think I've glooped it on like really thick. But it gives it a lot more texture then. I don't want it thin. I want it to look like it's a gloopy sort of place to be walking. Okay. That's that. Just switch over to the other one now. Just to pull up some of this down. Ooh, I've got too much on now. Just get a little bit. People involved in protest. GW pots are kind of notorious for drying out and being fiddly to close. Yeah, I've noticed that. It is annoying. Nice and steady hand will help. Don't rush it. Great advice, Chris. Great advice there. Splodging that in. Splodging it in where I want it to go. There we go. Just trying to push this around the base so it covers the bits that I want it to cover. Oh, I keep moving it out the way. There we go. There we go. I think it's when you do so many in a row, like it can get frustrating. Do you know what's special about tomorrow, Logan? I don't know what's special about tomorrow, Logan. What, is it your birthday or something? You have one of those Tau vehicles. I hear the big models are tricky to paint with contrast. Might be easy to spray blue. Yeah, I'm tempted to get an airbrush to do anything big. I know that there's people who've run contrast paints through airbrushes. That is a thing that people do. But yeah, I'm going to save up for an airbrush before I try that. Try and tackle it with an airbrush, you know. Like, I think for vehicles you need an airbrush. You know, you could really do with it with miniatures. Or I could say you really need an airbrush for miniatures, and I haven't got an airbrush. I need to get one, and it's something that I will be purchasing in the very near future. Joe says you can run them through an airbrush. They don't do the contrast effect though. Yeah, I know. So you're probably just better off with Citadel air paint, or just standard Citadel paints watered down. Okay, just getting the pace right on this dude. These miniatures were bought off eBay years ago, and they had like 2 different layers of paint on them. It was crazy. Someone had got them and then painted over them again, and it was like they were a real mess. And I believe I got them like quite cheap for what they were. The only trouble is, like, a couple of the antennas are snapped off and stuff like that, so I need to get some like green stuff their antennas back in. Okay, that looks alright. Let's have a look. Doctor Who's 57th anniversary. Oh, it's been ages since I've done Doctor Who. If you want to paint contrast by hand, you need a bigger brush to do vehicles so you don't overwork the contrast paint. Oh yeah, I guess you could use like a really big brush, couldn't you? They put a flat but transparent colour. Oh, well, that could be advantageous, couldn't it? I should have sealed the wet palette as well. I didn't think about that before I started doing all this thingy. I should have sealed the wet palette. I've been painting copper Necrons by putting contrast flesh over steel layer paint. Oh, that's an interesting one. But did you see they've got a new copper colours out? I believe they've got some like new copper colours that you can use. I'll just shake this up because I think it needs a good shake just to get it working. It's like started to congeal a little bit, that paint. The trouble is all my paints are from like 2019, so I don't know how long they'll last for, but we'll see. Okay, got that. Wow, 15 viewers, so that's really good. 7 likes. Smash the like button if you're enjoying it. Absolutely fantastic to have you guys in the stream. Oops, just put my finger in the paint bit on my thing. Yeah, but I didn't want to buy special new colours for each army. Just can use the contrast range and simple methods can do about everything. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't blame you, because contrast paints can be quite expensive. And if we look now at our army, ooh, zoom out, they're drying nicely. They're drying off nicely then, guys, so that's great. So they can just sit there and dry out nicely. You ever play the game with anyone? I've played it in the shop a long time ago. I have played it in the shop a long time ago, but not recently. and I did play it with my brother once, but we were playing different editions, and the new editions are a lot easier to pick up and start playing, whereas the older editions had so many different rules. Heavy pigment gets into the crevices and the light pigment pulls away from the edges, so if you put metal under the contrast it pops around the edges nicely. Oh, that's a really handy tip. Zero Avenger. Just having a little drink of water. Okay, it's past 11, so thank you all so much for tuning in to this live stream. We've gone on for an hour and 14 minutes. I'll have to edit out the first hour, sorry, the first 14 minutes of this because it's a little bit dodgy, but with the audio. But apart from that, thank you ever so much for dropping by into the live stream. It's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you all for coming, everyone, and bye bye everyone for now. Bye bye everyone. Mwah. Bye. It was a treat. Thank you so much. Okay, see you everyone.